Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thanks for joining us. And with me is Jean Hungiville, CEO and President of the Tarpon Chamber of Commerce.
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
And sometimes I'm just answering phones.
Hey, that's what makes you so great.
Oh.
And we always say, you know, it seems like we were just here, and here we are again.
I know. And we have so much fun, and it goes so fast.
I know
You're going
it
to be
does.
surprised at how fast this goes.
Exactly. Just a short segment, but it's power-packed, full of information. We bring the businesses to you. And if you're a new business or an existing business and you want to get more exposure in the community, you have to check out My Chamber TV. Join the chamber right in my hometown there in Tarpon Springs.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, listen, our first guests are Jose and Monica Diaz. What a delightful, beautiful couple you guys are. Brightway Insurance, I cannot wait to hear the story behind this. I understand you have quite a military background.
Yes.
And you just started your business when?
May.
May of last year.
May of last year.
In time for COVID.
Just in time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So let's dig in and let's hear what you have to say. How is this all working for you? Starting a new business and then COVID hits? And
Well, we had no idea. We signed for the business in February, and then everyone knows what happened in March.
yes.
So our plan was always to open in May, and we continued with the plan, even though we had no idea what that was going to look like. But yeah, we kept chugging along, and it's been steadily growing, so we're actually really happy.
What made you go into this business? Now, Jose, you were in the service.
Yes.
Which
and,
branch?
An Army.
Army. Okay.
And I retired 20 years after serving 2 tours, Iraq and Afghanistan. And she decided it's time to get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we both worked at for AAA Insurance. And
Okay.
we decided to open our own business. It was time for us to go our own ways. And it's been a journey, but it's been really good. It was the right decision.
So with AAA, were you in this area? Or
Yes, I started at the Palm Harbor AAA office.
Okay.
With their
And we've
insurance
had
department.
them on here.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Yes,
because-
and then we decided to, like I said, do our own thing and open our own agency, which has been very
Yep.
successful.
And we went with Brightway for many reasons, but primarily because of all the options. And I guess we're going to get to talk about that at some point.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk about
all
it.
the options. I was very impressed with your website when I went to it yesterday, and I thought, wow, that is just a whole informational and educational tool in itself. But let's hear it from you, too.
Well, with most captive, and what's called captive is when you're an insurance agent that represents one brand, you're limited with your options. And many times we just knew we weren't able to offer the best pricing or even offer, just like I said, options. So when we started doing the research and chose to go with Brightway, the main point was the options. For home insurance alone, we have over 25 different
No
carriers.
kidding.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
And that's really important for the average consumer to understand. When you're shopping around insurance, which of course is not a fun thing to do, and I totally get it, it's a lot more work to have to call many places to get quotes. When you call us, we
It's a
can
one-stop shop.
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
see.
quote through many
Okay.
carriers
I
at
love
once.
that.
Yeah.
So you can do home and auto and I see boat, RVs.
All personal lines.
Personal lines, umbrella policies, flood policies, home policies, toys, what we call campers,
The
RVs,
toys.
Yeah.
boats, anything that's out there.
So when you're looking at then you just, it's like 25 here, another 10 over here for the specialized thing.
I mean, total we have over 50 companies.
No.
But we really focus on the home insurance because we feel like it starts with home.
Okay.
So, whether it's a renter's policy or a condo policy or home, we have options for all of those. And then after that, we try to work with our clients and insure everything, their
Right.
auto, their life insurance, all of it.
Let's start with the home for some tips on what you can educate our viewers on what they can do to help themselves if they're thinking of just changed. I just changed my homeowner's policy. So we have that for a year. I'm happy with who I'm with at the moment. But sell me on your insurance. Why would I want to come to you? Just starting from the home alone. I mean, just there, because you're right. It's where we live. It's what we got to
Complicated.
face every day. Yes, some days.
Complicated.
Well, I think that it's common for people to shop their auto insurance. I think people know how to do it, and you pretty much get a renewal every 6 months, so you're prompted to think about it. But I think that with home insurance, you close on your home, you get some insurance, who knows where you find it, and then you kind of stay there for many, many years, and you don't even think about it. But home insurance can also be shopped, and you don't have to wait until the renewal. And if you have an escrow account, it's really even easier to switch. So there is no need to wait, and you should compare rates.
Right.
Things are always changing, and rates go up and down. But if you're never looking to see what else is out there, you might be overpaying.
And with your company, then, you can look and see what's out there.
Yes, we can.
And give
We're
the
definitely shopping
comparisons.
around. We'll give them the best options that we have, and we can offer them. There's a lot of factors that come into play when you're shopping around for a new policy.
Like what?
Roof, age of roof, age of home, electrical panels, stuff like that, water heaters. If your roof is fairly new, it's called, they call it a wind mitigation inspection report, which is that gives you the credits for your
Okay.
roof
Yes.
based on that. And also you have the alarm system discounts, storm shutters, hurricane windows. There's a lot of options you have that you can entitle to as credits. So
Yes.
it all comes into play. So once we get all that information, then we'll come up with a
Yeah, so
options are.
a homeowner's quote is not, we can do an initial preliminary quote,
Right.
but there's a little bit more that goes into it.
A little bit
Yeah.
deeper.
Yeah.
I think the average homeowner is not aware of credits.
No.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, and especially if your insurance agent or company is out of Florida, I can pretty much guarantee that you were overpaying
No kidding. Now,
because they don't understand the Florida credits.
Now,
We
what
had
about car
Citizens
insurance?
for a while. That was fun. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to say that.
Yeah, and if you're with Citizens, I mean, it's not the worst,
not the
but
best
you have
company.
options,
It's not
and we can
options.
definitely help you with
Yeah.
that.
Good. Well, you answered one of my major questions is overpayment.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just well known. So thank you for that. I'm sorry.
Now, with auto, too, because
Yes.
that's one of the things
Yes.
that changes, and I'm always constantly looking at what's the best auto options. How do you determine that?
Well, like I said, we have options for auto as well. So we run the quotes through many carriers, various carriers, and we kind of talk it through with you. Is it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to increase your coverage? Are you just trying to save money? So it's important to have that conversation with the clients and meet in the middle and and provide some guidance because people don't really know about insurance and they really don't understand the coverage. So it's good to have a conversation and just make sure that you're setting yourself up to have the best possible rates.
Right.
That's excellent. That's
Especially,
great.
too, if you have children at home that are driving age.
Yes, that's very important.
Because there is so much that goes into that if they're that under, what is it, under 25?
Anything between 17 and 25.
Yep.
That's when you start
yeah.
getting your license.
Very
that's,
good.
That's
Very
when
good.
really your expertise can come in and say, okay, this is really good for if you have no children, but over here, if you have children,
Definitely.
this is where it's definitely better.
But real important about the auto policies is that the better coverage you have, they put you in a better rating.
Yeah.
So it lower.
Good point.
And I also want to point out that when you're calling around and let's say you call your insurance company that you have and you say, I want to save money, be careful. Sometimes what they do is strip away coverage.
Yes,
Right.
that's
And
right.
that is not how you
And
should
you
save
have to
money.
really be in tune to pick up on that.
Yes.
I hear that. So you've been a member of the chamber for how long? Being a
We joined immediately when we opened
Did
our
you?
agency.
Smart.
We
Yes.
are still waiting to do their ribbon cutting.
Oh dear.
With
Oh.
COVID and everybody getting so close and shaking
Right.
hands and all that, we have their ribbon cutting will be one of the first ones we do when the mayor is comfortable and we can do that. But
We're looking
Yes.
forward to that.
Yeah.
And we're looking for you.
Well, this is exciting. So how has it helped you so far in spite of the COVID? Clearly,
We've met
you're-
some great people, actually.
Isn't that
Yes.
wonderful?
Yeah.
And the real estate's booming, so
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
there's hardly any inventory out there right now. So the realtors are kind of,
They're busy.
They're outbidding their
Yeah, they're having bidding wars.
Yes.
They,
Yes.
they've come to the breakfast that we have on the third Wednesday
Yes.
and connected with some realtors and
Yes,
connected
yes.
with and just some of the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Johnny
been
Grits.
very supportive and friendly.
It's really good to meet at these breakfasts and meet other people, other business owners, and
Yeah.
it's good because you have that kind of relationship with them.
That's great.
Yes.
We have a great town there in Tarpon
Yes,
Springs.
we do.
Yes,
don't
we
We
do.
do.
Well, it's so great to have you on the show today, and little did you realize that My Chamber TV was part of being a member of the Chamber.
Yeah,
so
no idea.
we're happy to have you, and good luck. And
Thank you so much for having us.
definitely, you gave me your card. You have my
Number
card.
and
So
name on there's the phone number.
that's right.
Yeah, give
And
us a call. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
having
Greg.
us.
Thank you.
Thank
having us,
you.
This has been
And thanks for being out there on
Appreciate
My
it. Thank
Chamber
you.
TV. We're going to be back in just a little bit to share other businesses with you on We Beam TV. So stick around. We'll be right back after this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and today we are featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. To my right is Jean Hungiville, President and CEO of Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. How long have you been there now?
It'll be 4 years on the 1st of March.
Has it really?
I can't believe it either. This last year was sort of a disappearing act. though,
Yes,
so
I
we
know.
can't
But
count that.
before that, you've done some major transformations over there with the businesses and just really taking ownership. Thank you for that. I'm really pleased to introduce our next ladies, one who I know, Linda Pinke and Destanee Betts. I'm so pleased to meet you as the new Assistant Director
Assistant Executive Director, yes, ma'am.
at the Market Street Memory Care Residence, which is right next door to where I live. And I have actually visited, as you know, Linda. It's such a beautiful facility. I can't wait to hear what's happening over there now. And I know you brought some props in to go into that. So let's talk about your programs
me
and,
pictures.
and what is it? What do we do there?
We do quite a bit of things. We do our art projects, of course, which Linda has here. We do our family visits. We can do those right now, and I know that's really important.
Oh,
and
that is great.
Yes, especially with COVID, still important for families to be able to visit, and we do it safely, of course. It is scheduled, it is somewhat monitored, but we want them to still have that connection because it's very important that they be able to still see them and whenever you're in a memory care facility and you never know. So it's very nice to still have that visitation.
Would you explain a little bit what's the difference with a memory care facility, particularly with Market Street, because it is absolutely beautiful, but it is very unique.
It is very unique. Market Street is set up for memory care specifically. We have things in place like double locked doors so that if they wander that they're not able to get out of the building, so they're still safe. And our hallways don't dead end. They go in a circle so that they don't feel like they're running into a wall if they like to wander or
Now
look
that I
around.
didn't know.
Yes, that's one of my favorite things about it. But we are all set up and trained to help them the best we can at that time. I mean, it's what we're here for, and we specialize in memory care.
So who is your, I guess it's probably not a fair question to ask an average resident because everybody's so unique within themselves. Do you have different levels of memory challenges? Give us a little feedback on that because I'm sure our viewing audience would love to know, maybe come and take a tour.
Of course, yes. We do have different stages of dementia and Alzheimer's. It can vary from the beginning stages to where they do need help with feedings and their daily getting dressed and things. All of that's very normal, and we have something called Age in Place, where once you're here with us, we can help you, whether you can age in place in our community. So you do not have to go.
I love
anywhere.
that.
Marvelous.
Age in place. That's very good. So that's really good to know. The different programs that you have, did I understand you say you have signature
We
programs?
do. We have two. One is called our Artful Expressions, and we rolled that out this year. We began with, in our community, the art history program, and we have moved through, and I just brought a couple samples because it's
those
really
are
exciting for
really nice.
This was our yesterday. We meet once a week. It is a smaller, we try to have a smaller group of residents.
Put that up there so people can see that. That's-
And
Here, hand that
that-
over to me. I'll
okay,
This
there
is,
we go.
That is great.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Look at this.
And it lets them be creative. You know, all of us have creativity in us, and we don't want to lose that. And so that is one of our signature programs. Our second one is called Aprons and Appetizers.
Ooh, I want to hear about
I
that.
want this one in our fine arts show.
Of course, all of our senses, taste, smell, we reminisce, we bring out recipes, we share those. They also have a chance to participate in the actual making
Look at
the
this.
food.
This is just
So
delightful.
it's a
This is
beautiful.
one of those things where it's reminiscent of things when they were younger, correct?
Absolutely. We can talk about what they made, what their families made. It's got special recipes in it.
Mini cheese
So-
biscuit and margarine, birthday cake celebration.
Wow. And I would guess by taking them back to that particular place in time stirs up really good frequencies
Beautiful
within their
memories
system.
and beautiful memories.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
So those are our two of our signature. We also go out into the community a lot. We do museums. We have done theater. We've gone to picnics. Anything that everybody else gets to do, we want to do. Yesterday, because right now we are not going off of our bus, we actually did donuts at Anderson Park in Tarpon Springs, and the wildlife management was out there. So we sat and watched that. They came over and talked to us. It was lovely, and so we try to go out into the community as much as we can.
And that keeps everybody
So-
sort of corralled, and then they were able to have the
Well, it's safe. They're safe.
Yes.
When we do outings where we were getting off the bus, we have a lot of families that are very involved with their loved ones, so they meet us. And so we never want to not let them have the opportunities that they've always had.
What is one of the most unique outings? Pre-COVID, I know, but that you all did, because you've only been there, 3 years?
I've been in the community 2 years. I've been in the community at large, Pinellas County, for almost 30 years. I was an ombudsman with the state of Florida, and so I have been doing this for 30 years. This
No
is my
kidding.
passion.
I was just going
I-
to say, this is your heart.
I
Yes.
absolutely
Yeah.
love our seniors. Everyone is unique, and every day I wake up thinking, who can I get a smile? What can bring a smile today?
Oh, that's
terrific.
wonderful.
So
Well,
we do.
but the memory care, I remember when we did the ribbon cutting on that, and I think that was just after I got here, so it was
Right.
about 3.5 years
And I was
ago.
not there when we did the ribbon cutting, so, but.
What's one of the most unique outings that you have done with the residents?
Well, we came up to Currents.
Oh.
I mean, it just works out that it's Tarpon. And so we went to
Okay.
Currents for lunch, and then we went to the museum right across the road.
Oh, the railroad,
Yes.
the home of the Historical Society.
Yes, the Historical Society, and that was absolutely lovely. We had a full bus, and they loved it. And it was fun to be part of the community. They know that we live at, our address is Tarpon Springs, and so it was a great event.
Oh, that's terrific.
I mean, we have done some amazing, we've gone out to the horse track.
I bet that was
That was
fun.
great fun. We venture not quite as far because of the travel. We want to be in about a 3 to 4 hour
Sure.
time frame.
Sure.
And so but we have amazing parks here, so we go to parks.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
week we do two right now scenic rides. So on Mondays we take one house, and on Tuesdays we take the second house.
Okay.
So we are out of the building. pre-COVID as much as we are in the building. And so
That's
it's
wonderful.
great. It's
That's
great.
just, I love to hear about it because I can envision the activities going on over there. Gosh, we're running out of time already. I wanted to ask you how long you've been with the chamber.
That is a very good question.
Since they opened.
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
Yes, we did
So-
the ribbon cutting, and so it's been 3.5 years, right after construction.
Has it been that long? Because I remember living right next door
Sure.
there and watching the construction. We couldn't figure out what this
I know.
beautiful building was going up. I mean, it's like
I know.
it's like a lovely resort. It
It is
truly is.
beautiful. Our
Very
plaza is unbelievable. There is a live-looking tree in the middle of it, and everything is around it, and so it's great.
That is one of the unique things when
It
we were
is.
doing it, because if a resident is out walking, there's a beauty shop, there's a
Yes.
bakery, they can go for coffee, and it's like being in a little European downtown.
Absolutely.
And it's, yes, with trees inside and lots of windows, and everybody's safe and confined.
And in the middle of each house is an open courtyard to fresh
Okay.
air, and we have gardens in there, and we grow herbs for our dining room. And
The grounds
so-
are absolutely superb. They truly are. The courtyard, just everything there is lovely.
One of the things we were talking about before we came on the air was what your background is and why you are in this business, which I think is just delightful.
Yes.
Yes.
We've only got a minute or so to go. but
Okay.
Tell us about that.
I actually grew up volunteering. My mother has worked in assisted livings and memory cares my whole life. So I grew up with residents playing bingo, doing the arts activities with them. That was my childhood.
Aw.
So when this opportunity came knocking, I knew that I could not pass it up. I went online and saw the building, and I was like, I have never seen anything like this.
That is true. I hadn't either.
And I have volunteered in multiple buildings. Through Tennessee was where I'm originally from, and I've never seen anything set up to just so specifically cater to people with memory problems.
That's-
I've never seen anything
That's
like
so
it.
awesome. I know
So
we're
it's
running
not
out of
like
time.
going
We could
to
sit and
work.
talk
It's-
all day, couldn't we?
Yes, it's not like going to work.
Not at all.
Well, that's so great. I just want to let everybody know, contact these folks. If you have a loved one that you want to consider, Destanee Batts and Linda Pinke, thank you very much
Thank you,
from
Destanee.
Market Street Memory
Delightful.
Care.
Well, it was a
Thank
privilege to
you.
be
Thank
here.
you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and we're featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce with Jean Hungiville. Welcome. You always bring such great guest business owners.
And it gets better and better each segment here.
It absolutely does. It starts out great, ends great. But I have to tell you, even in spite of COVID, there are successful businesses out there. One of the key factors in business is one word: marketing. Marketing, whatever it is that you're doing, and if you're writing books, programs, or anything like that, we have someone here has her own company, Joyce Frustaci, with Juice Marketing and Design. I'm so glad to talk to you. I'm so impressed already. I'm going to get your card right after the show here. But let's talk about this. When did you start your business?
Back in 2009.
2009. So
Yeah.
you've been around, here in Florida?
Here in Florida, in
Yep.
Tarpon Springs.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, back in 2009, we were in an economic crazy time period,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And everybody thought, why are you starting a company now? The market is so volatile. And
Perfect.
we did.
And so
Perfect
why
timing.
did you?
You know what? It was just the timing of so many different things
Yeah.
all blending together
Uh-huh.
from recovering from cancer.
Oh, dear.
A company I was working for was being bought out. All these different pieces were coming
Okay.
together.
Okay.
And it was
Gotcha.
just like, you know what? Everybody keeps telling me I should do this. And you know
Hold your
what?
nose,
Maybe the
jump
time
in the
is.
pool and do it.
Well, did you have background in doing some
I
marketing?
did.
Okay.
So for
okay.
9 years, I'd been in corporate marketing.
Ah, okay, very good.
Yeah.
So juice marketing and design, I gotta know. What's with juice? Is it
Yeah.
because your program is so juicy? What is it?
So it serves multiple purposes. One, obviously creative juices, and that we juice your marketing,
Love
which is
it.
our website,
Love
juiceyourmarketing.com. But it has a hidden meaning because my name is Joyce, and I didn't want my name in the company name. When I was little, my dad used to call me Juice. And my mom's name is Joyce also. So it was Juice and Mama Juice. And
I
so that's
love
kinda
that.
how
I
that
knew
is
there was
together.
I knew there was a
There's a
story there.
backstory.
So
There
thanks
is.
for
Yes.
sharing that. Well, so okay, marketing can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. People don't know where to get started. Let's talk about whatever we can do in the short segment that we have here. This is like a whole show in itself for hours upon hours. What can you share with our viewers? The best points and why we would come to you to market our book, market our program, printed materials. Where do you go, especially in the digital
And
age?
also, where do you start with all of this?
True, good points. The thing I think that I like business owners to realize, I am here to make small businesses have a chance at this.
I love it.
And so many small businesses think that they have to have, you know, a friend of the family who doesn't really know what they're doing but has some sense of design to jump in and take care of it, because how could they possibly afford professional marketing? And so that was my hope, to be able to provide small businesses with this opportunity to really make them shine so that what they offer or what they do is as amazing as what they are is what they look like.
Yes.
And so that was my hope. When you're just starting, I think it's very important to have a professional logo. I think it really
That is
gives you
important.
that strength right out the gate. If it looks like it's a clip art little thing put together, people just lack confidence. I compare it to, are you getting dressed up like, you know, you're formally dressed for today's segment, right? Versus would you have shown up in your bathrobe? You know, you wouldn't show up in your bathrobe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and clip art to me is showing up in your bathrobe.
That is a really good point, but I think some businesses probably just figure that's what they do.
And one of the things, having been a small business owner several years ago, it was a franchise, so all of that was done ahead of time. But I oftentimes saw small businesses with starting out, and their expertise is in the business. Marketing something is completely different, so it's better to have
goodness.
somebody advising you, somebody handling your marketing.
Yes, definitely. And I think, too, one of the things that I like to do is spend time with the business owner to find out, you know, who are they really targeting? You know, let's talk about what their ages are. What do they like? What do they dislike? Let me get an understanding of all that information so that I can help you figure out, should I spend money on designing and printing folders? Or do I not need that? You know, like, let's figure out what you do need, what you don't need, especially when you're starting out. You don't need to spend a crazy amount of money on so many things. You know, you need a website presence because
Of course.
people want to check you out.
That was my next question. Is it true what I've heard that if you do not have a bona fide website, you're not professional?
It's going to damage you.
Thank
People
you.
are going to go to your website to confirm who you are, get a sense of faith in who this company is portraying themselves
Sure.
to be.
Sure.
And if you're not giving them that, it's gonna hurt their potential of coming to you.
Right.
There are some businesses that are only on social media.
And that's one of the things that I'm finding with some of the new young businesses that are coming in. They don't have a website, they have a Facebook page. That doesn't make sense to me.
And realistically, in today's environment, when someone's considering your business, whether you're a dentist, you're a restaurant, what have you, they most probably are going to go to your website and your social media because they want to
Yes.
see both. They want to get a
Yes.
sense of who you are. And if you're only giving them one of those two pieces,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
there's a chance there that you're going to, you know, risk not getting that person to walk through your door.
Is it kind of like the website is the foundation, and then the Facebook page and the other social media is what supports all of that?
Yeah, a lot of the times we think of it as a wheel where the website is the center. And
Okay.
you're trying to encourage people to come to your website, whether you're doing a blog post or a social media post or whatever it may be, and helping that they take that next step and go to your website so they can learn more about you and take next steps.
That's very interesting. I love the way you say that, the wheel. I can just kind of, picture
Yeah,
that. Authors. Let's talk about authors.
This is very interesting.
Yes.
So when an author has a book that they've created and they want a cover that best represents them, we talk to that author and talk about, what are they trying to connect in terms of their audience, all these different things. Some of them already have a vision in mind. And so if they already have a vision in mind, we make that vision come to life and then design that cover for them.
Well,
I'm
you
just
also mentioned
curious.
the spine when we were talking
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
I hadn't really thought about that as part of the whole book, but
yeah.
it is.
It
Yeah,
is. It's the
yeah.
front, it's the spine, and it's the back.
Yeah. There's a lot to all that. And, a lot of business owners do go into business and without a marketing plan. So to have somebody like yourself on the show today, I'm glad that you would ask how to get started. And especially with the digital age today, I think what's really important from an observer and a small business owner is to get your message out there because time is our most valuable commodity. And if you have a good marketing program, you're working with somebody that really knows what they're doing and not interested in going deep into your pockets, which is what I'm gathering here because you obviously have a passion for helping small businesses get going out there. And they are getting going and they are surviving and thriving, right?
They are indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find that small businesses, when they start out, they think advertising is the same as marketing.
Oh, definitely not.
And explain the differences between the two, because that's
good
only one little
question,
piece.
Jean.
One little piece.
So you're going to have your base of what's going to represent your company, and then you're going to have things like your logo, your website, your business cards, things of that nature. But then you're also going to have the pieces that are going to be advertising in the chamber and connecting with the people who are coming into the chamber's office or who are tourists in our city and so forth. Or you're deciding you're going to do a billboard, or you're going to do a commercial on TV, whatever it may be. There's ways that you're going to put yourself out there that's outside of your home base mix, if you will, that are connecting you to your potential clients, customers.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Gosh, we're running out of time again. Less than 2 minutes remaining. So you've been a member with the Chamber for how long?
Oh, goodness.
Since
A
before
long
me.
time.
Since before you.
Before me.
So okay, let's talk to that point.
Okay.
How has the Chamber helped you, specifically you and your business?
So there is a business on Tarpon Avenue who I would never have been connected with, but he heard about us through the chamber and he's called me. So we've had the opportunity to help him start a new business as well as print his business cards of his existing company. So it's just,
Which business is that?
it's Sandbar.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So it's just wonderful to get those connections because I wouldn't have had an opportunity to meet him, especially because, a lot of the types of mixers just aren't as active because people are
course.
being more cautious, which
Of
is
course.
totally a logical thing to do. I'm
Sure.
the same way.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, this is really exciting because we do need that marketing and to have somebody that is current, that's been doing this for a while. And the connection with the Chamber is so clear. And we hear this all the time. It's like having one big happy family. So I definitely want to get your card. I'm
Okay.
getting everybody's card today. It's resonating with me. I'm very excited. So good luck.
Thank
Continued
you.
good luck. We'll spread the word here. And we're happy to have you on My Chamber TV to get the word out here really easily.
Thank you so much.
I think
I
this
appreciate
is great.
it.
Well, you're a doll. Thank you. All right, take care. We'll be right back in just a little bit. everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, your host, and with me is Jean Hungiville. With the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce, we bring the town to you with the businesses and people that really want to help you out. And of course, we invite you to join the chamber if you do have a business or are thinking of starting a business. So no time like the present time, right?
Oh, I know. We have had 20 new businesses in Tarpon since COVID.
See, I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so glad.
I have 15 ribbon cuttings lined up so that when it's safe to be able to do that and the mayor comes out for that,
Perfect.
we will be doing it. But that's amazing.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Another big deal is, you know what they say, when what you think about, you bring about. And I've been thinking about it. I want to talk to someone about hormone replacement therapy. And who comes on the show is Kevin Taylor, and you are with Florida Alternative Medicine North. And we already started our dialogue before the show.
We did, yeah.
So
Right.
let's hear all about why, how, and who you've been working with. You've got quite the credentials.
Well, thank you very much. And Jean, Barbara, thanks for having me on the show. This is great media for me. Florida Alternative Medicine started several years ago in a Tampa-based office, one small office that's grown now this year into 20 franchises nationwide, with the home office being here. Had a very interesting local penetration with lots and lots of competition. So we opened the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce office there with Jean.
They're in our spare office in there, and
Yes.
it's great.
Yes.
Fantastic space, very convenient, and again allows me to service Clearwater, Pinellas, and all the way around to Wesley Chapel. Not Wesley Chapel.
West Pasco?
West Pasco, and
Excellent.
so I got basically a very nice geography. But the interesting thing that we have to thank COVID for is Physicians Without Borders. So now we're able to basically service the entire country through our satellite offices that are located nationwide,
Very nice.
with the home office here. So a lot of fun.
Well, great. So let's
Interesting stuff.
it is very interesting stuff. And with the mental, I can't even say how things are with a lot of people today, having been locked up, so to speak, and just trying to move forward in their lives. Hormones play a big part even without a pandemic, correct, in one's life?
Absolutely correct. So if you look at the cycle of life, beginning with childhood and through young adulthood and on through maturity and then the aging adult, we have a very a delicate balance of hormones that are somewhat predictable through adulthood. The term that is most frequently used to describe aging once we're not maintaining our youthful vigor as adults is the homeostatic decline. And during the homeostatic decline is when you begin to see a drop-off in various hormones within the body. This is not necessarily what we would call menopause or andropause. It's just the age of the human being, where they are both chronologically and genetically, where they stop making or slow down the production of the hormones that make them look and feel young. So with
Energy goes away with all of that, too.
Energy, mental focus, cardiopulmonary reserve, muscle tone, bone density, the ability to sleep well at night and then be awake and alert and focused during the day. So all of those things change. One of the new emerging terms that we like to use is andropause. We've always known what menopause was. That's been a topic of debate for decades.
I've
But
also heard it called menopause.
Also
right.
known as man pause.
man will pause.
Yes.
But andropause is something over the last 10 years has become extremely well studied and published, in that men begin to lose their production of testosterone somewhere around the 4th decade of life. And it happens so slowly and insidiously that most men will not really even realize it's happening until something brings them to seek medical attention. And usually that's an injury, lack of recovery from exercise, mental fog, lack of ability to stay focused on the task at hand. And in addition to that, many men will begin to experience in some degree of lack of performance or erectile dysfunction.
And that's starting at 40. that all of that starts to go away.
The interesting thing about it is that we have raised a generation of young men currently, and we're seeing them in their mid-20s with clinically undetectable testosterone levels. And much of that is because of what we've done with video gaming, social media, lack of sports in schools, lack of physical education in schools, lack of human interaction, instead substituting human interaction for social media. They're awake at night playing video games when it's dark, and they're asleep during the day, so they're not getting a healthy balance of vitamin D, which is thought by many it's a hormone in its own right and the precursor to many of the other hormones in your body that require it for their production.
Who would have thought that?
You know what? I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was something wrong with all of this craziness that goes on. The kids with the games, and they hide behind their phone and the this and the that. Sorry, I don't mean to go off, but I've got a 7-year-old grandson. So I'm always looking out for that little guy. But this is really very
She homeschooled
good.
this summer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to fill in for me
That's a
here.
lot
Yeah,
of
so
homeschool.
she got her
I think
fill.
everybody got their fill of homeschool.
Yes.
Yeah.
But lifestyle changes really do impact your health.
100%. And so when we look at people who come to our my clinic, some of them just say, "Hey, I have gained weight. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to change my lifestyle. Just give me a magic pill to make me thin and healthy again." We have a magic pill. It's actually called a magic pill. But the real magic happens, and the force multiplier is when you add someone with the motivation to adapt a healthy lifestyle, healthy eating habits. They're willing to get out the couch and get to the gym or ride a bicycle or even walk the dog. You know, we're not looking for someone who's trying to go to the Olympics. We're looking for someone who's motivated to put in 20 minutes a day, most days of the week, eliminate visible fat, fried foods, and tons of starches, and just have American Heart Association healthy, nutrient-dense diet along with an exercise plan. And to that, we add our chemistry, which is simply the chemistry that left them during the homeostatic decline. So we're not doing anything much more than just giving them back their chemistry that's already left.
Mm-hmm. It's education and commitment.
Education and commitment. We do the lion's share of our encounters are actually virtual telemedicine or Zoom, but we do have an office. We see clients in the office, and we welcome them to come in. A big piece of having someone adapt to a hormone replacement program is in the delivery vehicle that's required in order for them to have it. So in our organization, we're not currently offering the pellets, and we're not big fans of the creams. So most of our products are currently either oral or injectable, and sometimes that requires a little bit of hand-holding at the beginning.
Sure.
But again, it is so easy once they've adapted to it, and unlike many clinics, we don't require them to come to see us in the office in order to get their product or their injections.
One of the things, though, that's key that you do, because I haven't had an appointment, and is you go through with labs. And you go to testing, get labs, come back, you do the analysis of what do you need, what do you not need. And if we don't need anything, then congratulations and good luck.
That's a brilliant point. One, we are extremely academic in our approach to hormone replacement. So number one, we have a standard panel of labs that we get on everyone before we initiate hormone replacement therapy. And so for women, it's one panel, somewhat subtly different than the male panel. And again, we see people who come in with the understanding that they have the symptoms of being, withdrawing of their hormones, and we test them, and they're absolutely normal. And so then we may look at other things. One of the things that we have talked about, and you hear it on the radio every single day, is pill, powder, potion for men to get their mojos back. Your Viagra, your Cialis, and those agents. The thing that we don't really talk about, and we don't really publish that well, is that if we're deficient as males in our testosterone production to the point where those agents don't work. So unless you correct the underlying chemistry, then these other agents aren't going to help, or they won't help nearly as much as they should.
I heard a lot of side effects on Viagra as well.
And there is so much
Very
more that
bad.
we could talk to, but we're out of time.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
already. Thank you
That was
for
fast.
reminding me. I'm
It
so
was really-
engrossed in this.
Yes, but I'm excited about having him in the chamber. I'm excited
Yes,
about the fact
yes.
that you're also in our office, so I'm able to see some of this firsthand, and hopefully I'm going to get rid of this roll around my middle.
I'm going to join you. Well, Kevin Taylor, thank you so much from Florida Alternative Medicine. Give Kevin a call. You just never know what you may or may not need, right?
Exactly.
Thanks, my
Great.
friend.
Thank you very much,
All right.
Barbara Jean, for having me. It's great.
And thank you. We'll see you again here on My Chamber TV. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. With me is Jean Hungiville, and she is CEO and president of Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. Again, another absolutely incredible show. Thank you.
Well, it was my pleasure. I try when I'm putting together to get 4 different people, or 3, depending on what segments we're doing,
Yeah.
that sort of complement each other, and they're all different.
I know. It was really, I mean, we bring so much knowledge to you guys that are out there. So thank you for that. Now, what's happening in the Tarpon Chamber? Are we getting out? Are we doing more Zoom, less Zoom?
Oh, if somebody says to me, do a Zoom happy hour, I think I will be in jail.
Don't say.
We'll commit murder.
Well, you got to do whatever works.
Yes.
But let's talk about the chamber. What have you got going on?
Well, as we talked a little bit about the last couple of months, we have been filling in without having to do all of the all the networking. We've been doing more social networking through Zoom. A lot of meetings are in Zoom. Our board meetings are still on Zoom, but our
Okay.
executive committee, which is only 5 of us, they're my officers, we are now starting to meet in person. We started that in December.
Oh, good.
And that, we started it when we needed to work on the budget.
Sure.
And the budget needed a lot of attention simply because Fine Arts Festival last year was canceled the night before.
I know.
We weren't able to do any of our things Thanksgiving. We didn't have our arts and crafts show. We didn't have the Christmas
I
parade
remember
this year.
that.
So all of those create some income for us as well as our dues.
Of course.
So we had to really rethink what we were going to be doing for this year. Now, I spent a lot of time working with all the 3 different stages of the PPP. Also, the city gave $1,000 to each of the businesses upon application and qualification. The county did the same thing twice over the course of the summer, and I was able to work through with businesses, how does this work? Here's the link, and get that information out to our business community and help get a lot of money funneled into some of our businesses. And it really made me feel great when I would have someone, I'll give you an example. Carrie, who is with St. Pete Concession, who handles our food for the Fine Arts Festival. He handles the food for a lot of different festivals. Didn't have any idea how or what was going on with all of this money. And we talked about it. I put him on the right track. He picked up the phone, and every time I see him on the phone now, he says, "Thank you so much." He said, and he tells me how much money he got, and he said, "That's, it helped tide me through."
Yes, yes.
And he said, "That's something I didn't realize Chambers did." And it's one of the things that we've been able to really shine with, was helping businesses in a completely different front. We lobbied in Washington with some of this PPP, and also with the county. The first CARES Act from the county did not include home-based businesses. The second one did because they heard from us on that, and a couple of the other chambers as well, and we talked about how important that was. The PPP, now the fourth one has just come out, and C6s, 501c6s, which is Chamber of Commerce's, were finally included in that. And they didn't do that because they felt, oh, no, you're a membership organization. Well, yes, but
Business is business.
we are a business community, and we're run like a business.
Yes.
And part of that was just the educational process. And Senator Marco Rubio's office was excellent in helping us get that through. Congressman Gus Bilirakis' office
yeah.
was awesome about that
He's
as
great.
well. Both of them understood and were our voices in Washington for that. So I thank both of you for all of that. And they were really great about getting me the information. Senator Rubio is part of the or is the chairman of the Small Business Committee in Washington. So when that first PPP came out, that was the first thing I looked through when skimming it. I was like, wait a minute. Small businesses, you're not including da-da-da-da-da-da. And they went back and they started looking at it, not just from me, but the National Chamber had the same reaction as well. So, and as you know, that's my background.
I know.
Having been up there,
I know.
traipsing the halls.
You know, you really step up and step out and do everything. You go the extra mile, Jean. I've known you now ever since you joined because of the show and coming in here. And I mean, I've just seen amazing accomplishments. So
Oh, well, thank you. Well, we're
congratulations
back.
for that.
Well, I feel like we're back where we started because we were in growth mode
Yes.
last year when all of this
Yes.
happened. I was getting ready to hire another employee, and I was looking to have the person who was doing our events to put in some more hours. And when this all hit, the woman who was doing our events had just decided to not work. She was going to go home and not work. So I had her job to fill and a new one, and this hit. So I immediately just pulled it down, and that was one of the things that got us through. Plus, we had some money in reserves. Now, as we're going into the second year of budget, I have the unfortunate information that came out last week that we are canceling the Fine Arts Festival again this year. And we had to wait until we got the artist information out on Friday. So this is very, very new. So the 47th Fine Arts Festival is not going to happen either. That's 2 years in a row, and that represents half of my budget.
Oh.
So one of the things that is helping us through is that fourth PPP that just came out as now includes C6s. So we were able to get a little bit of money from that. And the small business EIDL loan that John and I were talking about in July, we were able to get one of the small business loans that's sitting in a money market in case we need it. So it's going to eke us through this year, but I'm the only full-time employee now. And I have Jack in the office Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the Welcome Center as my tourism person.
Sure.
And then we have our office down at the docks that's open from 10:30 to 3:30. And I have Susan Monday through Friday there, and Carol on Saturday and Sunday, both of which love doing their jobs, but they're tourism people.
Oh, and there's so much to tour. in Tarpon.
And it's starting to come back. We're
Yeah.
getting a lot of people coming up from Fort Myers and Naples and that area, and then we're getting people coming over from across the state that are doing day trips.
Cool. You can do that in Tarpon.
Yes.
Very nicely.
And people know somewhat about it, but it's a great day, or it's a great come to town and just spend the night. We have 2 wonderful bed and breakfasts. Oh, there's a Safford House. Yes, and that is open back up now too for tours. There's the Sponge Docks and the boats that are in down there. St. Nicholas Cathedral is still closed because of COVID. And our wonderful sponges. That's the net that you see there is. And there's the desserts, National Bakery and Alas, and there's the front of the cathedral. We did have, an abbreviated epiphany. The church did that.
Yes, I
and it
heard
was
about
beautiful.
that.
Oh, there's Spring Bayou where we were going to be having the Fine Arts Festival. So
Yes, I know.
But
I love the Bayou.
if you have a business and have, there's still some more PPP money, and I've brought some information with me.
Oh,
It's called a
good.
second draw. And I'll quickly, I know we're getting short on time, but I've got a couple of minutes we can run through this. The PPP Loan Forgiveness now is not going to be taxable. Originally, if you applied and used it for payroll and certain things, then it was forgiven, but you were going to have to pay tax on that as income. That is now changed, and that's regardless of how much PP funding that your business received. Then there's another round of draws called a second draw, PPP2, that's available to businesses under 300 employees, and that's most of them that we have here. So if you've already gotten that, there is a second draw that you can do. Call me and we can talk about that.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to put some more information out on that. And it's called second draw. We've got some information. If you had not applied for the first one, you can still do it.
Really?
So it's now, you can do that again. They're going to simplify the forgiveness process for the PPP loans of $150,000 and less. So it's going to be really something that's going to really help businesses.
That
It's fortifying
is
it.
excellent.
This is,
Oh, gosh, we're running out of time
this
again.
is coming out of Congress. So I'm trying to think that, there's the extra stimulus packages that are still working on, but these I know for sure with businesses are in place.
Oh,
So
that
we
is
can-
such
can
good
help people
news.
with some of that.
Good for you.
So we're looking at events coming up. We do our third Wednesday breakfast at Johnny Grit's.
Oh, it's Wednesday. I wrote down Thursday. It's Wednesday.
Third Wednesday.
Okay.
And
What
it's-
time?
And it's 8:30 to 10, and it's on our calendar. If you go to our
Okay,
website,
good.
tarponsprings.chamber.org, and you go to the calendar, you'll see it there. And if you are not a chamber member, you wouldn't have received an invitation, but you can go there, click on that link, sign up for it, and you're considered a prospective member. And I'm looking to get another location to be able to spread out for a first of the month breakfast as well. People really like to come to breakfast. It's really, it's really good.
It
So
is. It is. I really want to get back into doing some things in the community as well.
We're doing it all safely. So
Yes.
come
Yes. So
join
that's
us.
good. That's really good to know. Thank you, my dear. Always good to have you.
And another month is gone.
I know. We'll see you next time on My Chamber TV. Thanks for joining us.